All right, welcome back to Cyber Unfiltered, where today we're going to try to figure out what can we do with $250.
Oh no!
I believe you can buy something neat.
Matt, what would
What would
you
that
buy with $250? What would you buy?
Well, based on what we talked about in the green room, I'm assuming that I'm going to buy, Kali Linux and hack the crap out of people. But I have a feeling that's not the answer you wanted just yet.
No. Just give 250. I mean, look, in this economy,
nice
200. I don't know how nice it's going to be. $250, man. This economy, with inflation and stuff like that, like it doesn't go as far as it used to.
With my family size, $250 might buy some hamburgers. So
that's because you have a circus.
You buy,
dude, you have a circus at your house. That's why.
It is a circus. It's a real life circus, and it's highly entertaining. Also, I'm half asleep right now.
Fair point. $250 can buy you a brand new phishing as a service platform that basically bypasses MFA for $250 a month.
So, what would that be? Would that be something that used to be a lot of work for a hacker to phish people, and now it's done for you?
I'm supposed to moderate this, but you're asking me. You are asking fantastic questions. Fantastic questions. Not only that, before we even get to that point, it's in 14 languages with 34 themes.
As long as there's a black theme, I'm good. Dark theme.
Dark theme, yeah. How do you like that? Yeah, this is basically a phishing as a service. Let's go.
It sounds better packaged than a lot of the software as a service stuff coming out for legitimate businesses, to be honest.
I'll be real. It kind of, I saw some videos, some images of it. It kind of looks vibe coded, but hey, if it works, it works. So FBI IC3, they issued a public service announcement last week on this. It's called Kali 365. Like I said, it's phishing as a service platform. Arctic Wolf and Microsoft both published articles about this kind of attack back in April. Our customers, we actually locked this down back then. But so far, this attack has now hit over 340 organizations that they know of. And that goes all the way across different sectors: manufacturing, education, government, and financial services all across North America and Europe. And once it happens, they just latch in there, and it's really hard to know whether somebody's been attacked or whether somebody's actually given up their credentials, because it leverages something called a device code. So the user gets phishing email, they click on it, it gets prompted for a device code. It's using the same reverse proxy that we've seen with adversary in the middle attacks, and they get a device code, and it gets emailed to them, almost like you do for like a TV, like, sign up for your favorite, authorize your Apple TV or something like that for your favorite streaming service. And you just give them access to your email in your entire account.
Nice and easy.
Yeah. It's been recommended for a while to block device codes. It's definitely recommended now to block device codes. It's interesting. You can buy this on Telegram. A little bit of cryptocurrency, $250 a month. No infrastructure to build out. They actually give it everything to you, and boom, you can start phishing.
Wow.
I might be doing different types of phishing this weekend. Not this, but this type of phishing definitely would lead to more money. So it's a public service announcement right now. But when you guys hear $250 a month to buy a phishing kit, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Pretty good ROI if you're not an honest person, but there's a lot of folks like that out there.
It's not going to take long to make their money back on that one.
No. It's something.
We used to have script kiddies coming and running stuff in the afternoon. Now they'll just get together and buy something and go phishing.
Shouldn't laugh at that, but that's.
But it is kind of funny because that's a very fair comparison, and maybe we should define what script kiddies are, which is people that don't really know how to hack or how to code. But 20 years ago, you could download a script that could hack a network. It's kind of the same thing. You don't have to know how to hack anymore.
I'm saying I'm old.
Otherwise known as vibe coding.
I'm saying we're all old. I'm sorry, Bob.
I'm just gonna make fun of vibe coding for a second. Same deal, right? People can create things, but then there's other issues that come from that. But
true, but there's people making money at it. by selling
Right.
the
There's
data.
nothing wrong with using those tools, but that's not the whole picture. It's
A lot of
not
people making money from this too.
British package.
So
Touche.
the real thing about this is, and this is where it gets people, the victim actually authenticates on a real Microsoft, looks like it's a real Microsoft link. So if they don't know the URL or anything like that, they'll put their device code in and just gives them access. Yeah.
So if you're not expecting it, don't do a damn thing.
How many of your users, like what percentage of users do you think would not be fooled by something like this? I mean, these emails look really good too. I mean, it's all AI generated stuff like that. This is like next level stuff.
I'd like to think none, but anybody tired or towards the end of the day or a long week can make that mistake, and that's the scary part.
Yeah. The old versions of these attacks, device codes only last 15 minutes. So the old versions of these attacks, they couldn't really send it to you like natively, but right now they actually do dynamic code generation. So the code isn't embedded in the email. It doesn't actually start until the victim clicks on the link. So that's how they get by the 15-minute attack vector too.
Clever.
And that code's coming from Microsoft when they get it, right?
Yep. It comes from Microsoft, and then what they through Microsoft email, and then what they do is they go on the website and they put it back in there. Unfortunately, what they're not noticing is it's an adversary in the middle attack, and so they're putting the code back in through another server, and they're stealing that in the back end. So, but if we kind of go through they actually have a 3-tier affiliate model as well.
Of course.
Yeah, bring your friends. Make more money.
This is the business, guys. The platform builds, they build and maintain the kit, the agents distribute it, and then they recruit clients. Clients are actually the ones that are running the campaigns, and it's structured exactly like a SaaS company. So you have an admin, an agent, and a client.
Hey, we just developed this software so that you could test your own users. How you really use it, that's not up to us.
Boy, this sounds like you've been involved in something before.
I'm just playing a lawyer in real life.
Yeah, and it bypasses MFA. And then what they can do, what's interesting about the infrastructure too, is it's running with Cloudflare, Vercel, and AWS in the backend. The phishing pages are hosted on compromised legitimate domains or ones that are brand impersonating subdomains. So
when they get shut down, they'll just rotate them around. They keep moving things, I would assume.
Yeah. So what does this mean? The barrier to entry is really low, right? I mean, is this a barrier at this point? $250? I mean, is that really a barrier?
No.
Nope. Now, there used to be a large hardware and knowledge barrier. And now you just pay to play.
They're making it easier. You can do role targeting. So an exec could get an RFP, a finance director could get an invoice. Government employee might just get a compliance notification. Like they have PDF attachments, they have HTML, direct URLs. I mean, this is like well thought through. What kind of like you see something like this, you're like, wow, they took this much time to do this. Are we cooked? Our company's cooked. Not us necessarily.
Cooked, but you know, like you said, it was all vibe coded anyway, and they're going to be next week. It's going to look totally different. So they keep changing it. I bet.
But once they get access to this token, you can change your password. It doesn't get them out.
Yeah.
That's
it never prompts MFA.
How do you bump that one out?
You have to
device
log all sessions, delete all the device code. I mean, you just better hope they don't get in as admin. But I mean,
you have to revoke the refresh. You have to revoke the sessions.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, and disable it, you can do it. But if you just reset the password, it does not kick them out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Which means this is not a user fixable thing unless you have a little extra access and insight.
So how many people actually revoke the sessions? I've seen a lot of people only reset passwords or temporarily disable the account.
I've seen IT companies not revoke sessions and wonder how things are still happening. And that's kind of where we come in sometimes. It's scary.
Yeah. So
that should be in your playbook, by the way.
Should be in your playbook. There is good news, guys. you can make a conditional access policy that blocks this, blocks the device code flow. You can block it. Now, Microsoft's been recommending this for a while. We already had it on our clients, but what I've noticed is Microsoft actually added, if you use conditional access to Microsoft, which conditional access is just putting policies on or conditions, like how you can access certain things in Microsoft's land, right? So you could say you can only access our email from this location, this IP address, something like that. Well, you can block device code flow with a conditional access policy. I've noticed that Microsoft added one now, at least on some of our tenants. So I don't know if that's a full rollout or not, but it looks like they're trying to push this out. It was in report only for a few people I've seen. So your miles may vary, but it's definitely something that you should be doing. If you don't know how to do it, talk to somebody who does. Like, it's not something you want to screw around with, because if you screw up a conditional access, you could lock yourself out. Don't do that, please.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to get back in, even if you own the account. Microsoft is not quick on that.
Not necessarily.
Last one I worked on was 3 days.
Look at the bright side. You didn't lose email over 3 days. You just couldn't respond.
No, you can get in. You can get in and do everything. You just couldn't get admin access into the account because of one of the tools. But yeah, it was 3 days to get them.
Okay. So that's kind of a downside, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
But I kind of want to drive home again. You know, all these preventions and trainings are important, but if you're not expecting it, don't click on it. And that goes for absolutely anything. Like, just don't click the damn link.
So I think
I'd like to start there.
We keep saying that, right? And it's true. But at some point, when is it you just have to take responsibility that somebody's going to click a link and you have to do everything in your power as a business to make sure that if that link is clicked, that there's minimal impact. I like to say it's not your fault. I love to say that. And I'm kind of changing my tune on this and being like, with all the information that's out there, with all the people that out there that can help you, if you choose not to hire somebody to help you do your cybersecurity, it's your fault. There's so many people out there that can help you. So many companies
Also,
out there that
don't
really
click
help
the
you.
link. Chris is right, but also don't click the link.
I downplay it when I talk to people and stuff like that, but I think at this point we're being disingenuous to people by doing that.
Yeah, I used to try to avoid fear mongering in everyday conversation, but we're getting to a point now where clicking that link is more access. And like you just alluded to, most of this is still preventable. So companies really do need to invest in systems to make sure policies like that are in place and follow announcements like this to make sure if somebody does click the link, to be blunt, you're not fucked. How's that for uncensored? Unfiltered.
Well,
what are we?
Unfiltered is right.
Well, let me put it this way. Depends on how bad the attack is, you might be.
True.
So I do the same thing. I try to make people feel good. It's not about fear mongering. We're here to spread information, talk about what's going on, and give you context around what you can do as a business owner. So, like, let's say you're a business owner with 50 employees right now, and you run Microsoft 365. Bob, what's one question that they should be asking their IT provider?
One question they should be asking their IT provider is,
Sure.
Is MFA on across the board?
Including
No.
admins.
And the admins, because the last assessment we did, MFA was turned on across the board, except for the admin, because, well, I only use that from the office.
That's an idiot response, by the way. Don't do that.
Let's call them ignorant.
And
Yeah. Have you guys had conversations about phishing resistant MFA with people? Moving beyond just like the Microsoft Authenticator? Well, I mean, I guess you could technically use
I
passkeys.
have. It's hard.
we're having a hard enough time getting them to use
I think folks are still just now.
Step one,
Some
use
of my
MFA.
folks are still just starting to accept that SMS is not a good method. So when we're still down there, and I think we all agree SMS should die as an authentication method, and that's been hard for folks to give up. It's hard to elevate to the next level, but the fact is these hackers are elevating more quickly than organizations are moving.
Ooh, that's a good point. we need to get to the baseline, right? So baseline having MFA on is level 1, right? We can I think we can all agree on that. Getting rid of SMS is probably getting to level 2. Level 3 is moving on to either FIDO2 keys or passkeys, right? And that's where you get phishing resistant. So not everybody wants to hold around a UB key, a physical key to get into your email, right? So you can leverage passkeys, and those can be tied in with the Microsoft Authenticator as well, or you can use them with other authentication pieces too. So how do we get people level 3? That's a good question. That's a fight your own battles, right?
Pick your battles.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're getting at. I do think that's the direction things have to go.
So if you're managing like Microsoft 365, we see a lot of attacks on Microsoft recently. We see a lot of attacks in general. Do you guys send like a security baseline with your customers? Do you have that conversation?
Absolutely. It's we have to do what we consider the minimum baseline here to cover our butts, cover their butts, or maybe it's just not best we work together.
I was reading we'll probably have an episode about this, but the 2026 Verizon data breach report. Vulnerability exploitation is the number 1 breach vector for the first time in 19 years. But the weird thing about that is they were talking about adversary in the middle phishing attacks as well. They were up 146% over the last year. Where it's just all about emails. Like in this situation too, it's just tricking somebody to go to a website. It looks like Microsoft because it's presenting you a Microsoft page, but the URL is not Microsoft. They're just hijacking your session basically when you put your credentials in.
And they do it because it works. They're getting
because it's effective. Yeah, that's why it would go up 146% in 1 year. So, how about this? What's one thing you want the listeners to do after hearing this? Matt, you go first.
Honestly, be aware. If you're on Microsoft 365 and you have any kind of IT partner, ask them about conditional access and ask them if it's been set up and ask them if they keep apprised of these things we're talking about, because what was set up 6 months ago is no longer good enough. This is a cat and mouse game, unfortunately. And if you don't have a partner, find one, talk to somebody. Even a small mom and pop 2-person business on Microsoft 365 is vulnerable to this kind of thing.
What about you, Bob?
I think I'm gonna throw out that reevaluate what Microsoft 365 products you're actually on right now, because a lot of people have signed up for the bare minimum just to get what they need when Microsoft doesn't have all the controls even access to some of the controls or the logging to understand what happened.
Yeah, we should probably mention conditional access doesn't really function on the cheaper tiers, nor does logging past a couple weeks, and that's a problem.
Days.
Yeah.
I'll take it one step further. If you're a company out there that's had a business email compromise or account takeover, hire somebody to go through and assess your environment. And the reason I say that is because in this type of attack, they set up mail rules and things like that where you may not see it.
Mm-hmm.
They could be in there for a long time. And without going back through and actually properly assessing it, you might think you're secure and you might not have any idea that somebody's lurking. And what are they seeing?
What are they learning about your organization and who you work with to use something like Kali 365 to, try to breach others? Because if they learn who you pay, who pays you, who emails who, those kind of approvals, that's why they sit in these systems. Makes them better hackers.
We've seen it where they saw communications between a salesperson and an HR person, and they talked in the same language, had compromised a salesperson, and got them to change payroll. Lost a paycheck. Right?
And all someone knew was their paycheck didn't hit that week.
Yeah.
That was the only tell.
But best part was they coordinated when the salesperson went on vacation. Gave me more time.
Yikes. That's a
I'm
rough
sure,
vacation
I'm
to
sure
come
there's
back from.
cases out there where that happened and they didn't realize it for a couple pay periods because some people don't even look at their paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
What? In this economy? I'm just kidding. All right.
Well,
I didn't say they didn't need their paycheck to fill the tank in the car.
Oh, that's fair. All right. But be safe out there. Whether you use Microsoft, whether you use Google, there are attacks for both. We're just highlighting one for Microsoft here because they're targeted probably one of the most. But these same level of attacks can work against Google. So just because you don't use Microsoft, don't think you're safe. Do your due diligence. Make sure you talk to somebody that's professional. And may this never happen to you. We never want this to happen to anybody. I want to be clear about that.
yep.
So
Till next week.
next week, maybe we'll dive into the Verizon data breach report. We should have some fun with that. Sound good?
Later, guys.
Later.